So after the week of the wild card games, I was like, look, they done, people been beating everything to death or whatever. I'm just gonna give you my little 2 cents on the whole thing of everything that happened in the wild card. Browns, Texans. I was like, CJ Stroud is that dude, basically. I was like, there's a reason why after earlier in the season or during the draft, I was like, that's the dude that you need to pick number one. Or I said Anthony Richardson. There was no Bryce Young in it. But this is the reason. Because I was like, he just get things out fast. I was like, he can recognize things. His ball placement is really great. I think it's funny that a lot of people have been talking about like, oh man, he just over here just flicking the wrist, like it's coming out like almost like a jump shot. And I was like, if you look at his pregame routine, he does like I think from every day on sport. He got like the golf swing, like he got the baseball, he's shooting the basketball. So I mean, it's not really all surprising that once you sort of see that where it's all coming from. But also the defense was also rocking and ready to go too. So it was like on all efforts as well. But let's not also add like that this is really made possible by CJ Stroud. Browns on the other hand, defense ain't do nothing. They pretty much like stuck up Garrett. But I was like Laramie Tunsil just that good to where it's like you have a good enough tackle and stuff, and like their line is also pretty good. But like if you can negate Garrett, but also too, Nico Collins did his thing while being matched up on uh, the other corners. He wasn't on Ward really a lot. Um, I was like, I felt like they were probably doing like the Belichick thing where it was like, okay, we're going to double team the best receiver and put our corner on your second kind of thing. But and then Flacco, I was like, everybody like Flacco returned back to Flacco, and I was like, and yes, if this would have been like a few years younger, but this Flacco, I'm kind of like, I was like, yo, he playing with house money, and eventually I was like, he done already walked away with the money on the table. He's fine. I was like, I don't know if he'll get another shot again. I was like, I think this might prove that he at least he'll be waiting in the wings where people are willing to call him maybe earlier with all the quarterback that went down this year going down. But I was like, yeah, I guess it's a little bit of the Flacco, but also too is like you also were like pressured to do stuff at that point because y'all was sort of starting to get your ass beat. So I was like putting it on him. So we'll see. He can't really come back to Cleveland because I was like, I feel like you can't have that team be with Deshaun Watson and Flacco because everybody gonna like Flacco. Anyway, another game. We'll go with no. We're gonna save that. We're gonna save that. Detroit Lions and the Rams. Now, I was like, Goff played a really good game in the first half. Second half, not so much. But that's where it really flipped on its head. Where Stafford had a decent first half. I was like, they were sort of exchanging blood, and then came hot in the second half. To me, it was really about which defense was going to not break. And that was really the story. The Lions defense did not break at all. They pretty much just stand packed. They was like, cool, you're going to get your chunk yard. These dudes going to be open. But when it comes to the red zone, guess what y'all going to get? Field goals all day, every day. No problem. I'm like, they're pretty much over and simple with that one. And pretty much nothing else to really write home with. I was like, let's see. I was like, I'm trying to save the other one for last, to see how this go. Uh, Pittsburgh Bills. I was like, Pittsburgh had a shot. I was like, but once that interception by Mason Rudolph in the red zone sort of happened, that really sort of just like changed the game. There's really nothing else there to really go home or talk about because it's just like Allen's so dynamic that you don't really want to give him any more chances they need to, and being Pittsburgh, it's like your defense is not all the way there, especially with no Watt. You didn't have any room for like negative type of things. You had to come in and you had to be ready to go, and capitalize on everything you could get. Because I think if it would have stayed close, I was like that being all in Pittsburgh. Because guess what? Who got the pressure? They got the pressure. So therefore, but Pittsburgh basically ran out of gas. I feel like that's what it was. Maybe they had TJ Watt, they have a better chance because at least it's somebody that could stay with Allen a little bit, but that wasn't going to happen. Nothing like that. Bills, on the other hand, I was like, look, Josh Allen just basically 6'5" his way up through all of them, and there was nothing they could do. Everybody they were busted wide open for each of the tight end to score. Game over. Um, Dolphins and Chiefs. I thought I was like I picked the Chiefs to win because I figured they win. I just didn't think it looked how it looked. I thought at least it was going to be like maybe like third quarter, then the Chiefs run away. Or I didn't think it was going to pretty much be like, all right, cool. Which a lot of I was like, to be honest, most of these games sort of did like first quarter, first half. These games basically told you what it was about to be, and the only one that didn't is the LA Rams Lions game. That was really the only close one. But even when it was close for a minute, I was like, you just seen that. This just ain't nothing. The defense, I thought, actually played really good considering all of their injuries. All of their injuries. And I was like, and I know other teams got injuries like the Bills and stuff, but I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, we lost both our pass rushers, our third pass rusher. I was like, we lost our linebacker. We didn't have our corner. We didn't have our, like, we didn't, like, you know, but on offense, that's where you didn't expect it to look all ugh and nasty and grimy and like, what is that about? Anyway, that was poor. That was poor. I don't. I think that says more about who with the game plan than anything. I was like, man, like I keep saying, I was like, y'all could be like, oh, he's accurate and stuff, and I'm like, first of all, I was like, it doesn't take nothing to be accurate when these dudes are open like this. Also, you know how even more yards he'd had if he would hit Tyreek in stride if he's able to actually throw it to Tyreek instead of just being like, well, hopefully, good thing he's so fast and dynamic. Like that's really all that was. That's really a lot of times what it is or whatever. Like sometimes I'm like it is good that he got these fast guys because I'm like I don't like he needs sort of bigger receivers and I think it showed in that game, but he can't do without the fast people because then he wouldn't have the necessary yards. So I was like I don't know. Chiefs on the other hand, I was like I felt like they were going to be their game plan anyway. It was cold anyway. Just run the damn ball, catch the passes when you need to catch the passes. As simple as that. All right, Cowboys and the Packers. I thought it'd be close, and I thought the Cowboys would sneak out, and I thought it'd be all offense. And y'all done heard enough of the whole week, but with them and the next game, I thought I wanted to talk about them, the other teams more that nobody else really ain't talk about. Like we really have glossed over a lot of them. But the Cowboys, look, they got their ass handed to them really quickly. They had some busted ass open. They were busted wide open, like at a strip club type joint. Like it was nothing they can do. I was like, it was basically your pipes burst. Like it just water everywhere. It was just nothing to do. It just seemed like they was off, and basically the Packers put on that ass. That's all you got to say. There's nothing else to say. Defense ain't play. Dak ain't come to play. There ain't no point. You already see how all the coverage gonna go. When it goes to the Eagles and the Bucks, I thought the Bucks would win here, but I didn't think it'd be another ass beating like this. I thought it'd be more like a grinded out game where it's like the Bucks putting points on the board, but feels like yo we ain't over here doing it well. We just gonna run the ball, help our defense out a bit. I thought they gonna play that type of game. No, it really wasn't. They really didn't run the ball. I was like, which is crazy because Hurts with being hurt with his finger, passed the ball like crazy. Yo, I mean a lot more, and I'm like, okay, let's do that. It's different than Cowboy that can't run the ball versus the Philly that can run the ball and they don't want to. Also, too, I was like, this looks worse to me than the Cowboy thing just because it just seemed like there was it was just like no give a fuck. That's all. That's it. Like the Cowboys seemed like there was and they just couldn't do nothing about it. And the Eagle was just like the hell is going on here kind of thing. And I was like, that's why everybody's up in arms over the whole thing. I was like, Baker Mayfield being hurt as well too, just all day on them, no problem, whatever. What you stopping? Nothing. I would like get these buckets. That's what all I was getting. But yeah, no, you didn't heard the coverage on it and stuff like that, where they're questioning everything and stuff like that. But yeah, so anyway, Everybody got their ass handed to them. And pretty much this really wasn't really a close. They were like the games were good, but I think that's because we were just wanting more intense football. But to be honest, there were really no close games here but one. All the games pretty much was done by halftime. Like you ain't have no more hope. You ain't have no hope for Cleveland. You ain't have no hope for the Cowboys. You didn't have no hope for Eagles. You didn't have no hope for Pittsburgh. Uh, you didn't have no hope for the Dolphins. It was all done pretty much halftime. Let's be honest. Um, Also, I think this is outside of Mahomes and Allen. I was like, I really think we really see the middling of the pack of quarterbacks. I was like, maybe I'll talk about that more, but I think that's sort of what the takeaway. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents. None too much. There's little points here. Especially, I just want to see what everybody else was talking about too, and I was like, they talked about Eagles and Cowboys so much that I was like, okay, I'll talk about these other teams that nobody else seems to care about when they're in playoffs right now. I don't know why I believe myself out. Anyway, see you for the next round.